Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap pre-market morning leap. My name is Doug McKay. I am the founder and head moderator of Quantum Leap. Quantum Leap is a group of retail traders that have been together for some of us for 6 years. Each morning we come together in this live session and I take a look at the market macro to micro. I start with basic trends, where we are in the trends in the different time frames, and then we go into the structure of the market and look at the volume profile, set up our levels and our targets and our hypotheses for the day. If you are here for the first time, welcome. If you want to come and check us out, we do have a Skype chat room that we have. It's you can send me a Skype request at Doug_McKay. I'll be the one from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. It is a Skype room, but we will be changing that shortly. Before I get going, I do have to do the disclaimer. This information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand the knowledge of the business of trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. You and only you are responsible for the trades or investment decisions you make. Trading futures or any instrument involves risk loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to your financial situation. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors could lose more than initial investment. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own trade plan and your own risk metrics. Okay, so let's quickly take a look at our levels from yesterday. One of the key levels we were looking at was this 78, the value area high with 79.50 just above. We went down and took out our first target right on the open at 73, came down to our key line in the sand, the LVN in the double distribution, and found buyers and then ripped it all the way up, breaking outside of the range and taking it up, hitting our first target at 81.25, testing that 82.50 area, rejected, came all the way back down inside the prior day range, had a higher low, and then from there we basically trended up the rest of the day. Now this was interesting here because we ended up getting a top, an octuplet 8 top, and I was still carrying a runner, and I did an add-on at 88, looking for to get funded on the break of the of this week high, and took forever, and we finally into the close broke above it and funded me, and then I kept a runner. And I announced that I was going to keep a running because I was looking for expansion, into the Globex. So I hung on, and I finally took my runner down at 94.50 for another 6.5 points. And that's just a lesson on patience. If the market's not going to prove you wrong, and your hypothesis has not been violated, just let it. If you got a risk-free trade, let it run. That's going to make a big difference in your overall trading. All right, so Fed Day, big day. We have no real news. We have crude at 10:30, but no real news until we get into the Fed, 2 p.m. Eastern time. We got economic projections, the FOMC statement, federal funds, and then this is a Fed day that has a press conference. So from 2 o'clock on, it's going to be on. And here's my thinking. I posted it in the room last night. I was thinking about this. And I think we got somewhat of a perfect storm for the Fed. And, they've got this whole Greek scenario and the possibility of Greek defaulting, and my views on that. I think that Greece is going to default, and anything they do is just putting a band-aid on it right now. So I'm thinking that there is a possibility that the Fed might test the waters and use the Greece situation as a scapegoat, and the possibility of just seeing how the market will react to some type of a rate change. I don't know this. It's just something that just I was thinking about last night, and it just kept on coming back to me and making sense. So I'm thinking we could see them make the rate change and just test the water. I don't think it's going to be big, but I just want to see. I think they want to see how the market's going to react to it. So I think we could have some explosive times this afternoon, especially with Yellen speaking at 2:30 Eastern time. So just keep that in mind. It's going to be a rocky day. All right, so let's just start with the basics, as I always like to do. I had a big long chat with Lita last night talking about, Durocher talks about, creating a routine in order to create a habit. You can't get to a habit until you do a routine, and you have to pick your routines and then just do them until they become habits. And one of the things that we do is every day we start with you'll see I do go through the same routine every morning. I start with the basics, just a candlestick chart with a 9 EMA and a 20 SMA, and I work my way down from the monthly all the way down into the intraday, just so that I not just get an understanding of where we are within the trend in the different time frames, but also to get me into my daily routine of preparing for the market. So I'm not caught, I'm not getting biased, and I have a full understanding. And it's just it's like getting in the car, putting on the seatbelt, and turning the key on. You got to start somewhere. So good slope, good separation. We had a little bit of weakness come in, but we've popped back up, and we tested the 9 EMA, but the trend is still strong. Good slope, good separation on the 9 and the 20. Going on the weekly, well, we had that first close, test of the 20 SMA on the weekly, and now we've popped back up, and we're trying to get back above the 9. The 9 EMA right now is sitting at that 2096.50. So, we've got consolidation. There's a possible head and shoulder. I don't know how many times they've teased us with this on the weekly, but it's, again, possible head and shoulder setting up if we come up and put in a lower high somewhere around that 2118 to 2120. But the trend is consolidating. It is still intact, but it is weakening on the weekly. On the daily, let me just get rid of this. On the daily, we still have that downward trend, with slope and separation to the downside. We had come down, gap down, come up, closed the gap, and we're trying to get back above the 2092.75, but we haven't got there yet. So the trend is still intact on the downside on the daily. Going into the intraday to see if we have any trends coming into the RTH session. You see we had this downward trend. Remember, I've been talking about this naked cross. How many times in the last couple days have I talked about this naked cross here at 20.95 1/4? What did we do? Come up, close the naked cross. Now we have a naked cross down below us at 20.82 1/4. Write this down. This will not hold. Okay, these naked crosses never hold. We've got a bit of a start of a trend when we came up and yesterday afternoon got back above the 9 and the 20, and we've got continuation, and we've got a start of a trend on the 4-hour. You'll see it even better on the 30-minute. We had a wonderful trend overnight or yesterday, then we went sideways overnight, continuation. Now we've come down and violated the trend, and we're coming up, and we've got an MA hug here, and we're trying to get back above the 9 and the 20. So we're in consolidation on the, we have to look at this. Just noticed here, we've got a possible inverted cup. Let me see if it just sets up here. And it does. So we've got a possible inverted cup and handle here. Let's just take a look at what our targets are. Currently right now, this will stay intact and not be violated until we get back up above 20.94 1/4. That's that CLVN. First target below 2080, 2086 and a quarter. Sorry. Extended target 2082. So write those two numbers down. If the market stays below that 2094, we've got a possible measured move on an inverted cup and handle. Okay, get rid of this one too. Going down to the 5 minute. We've got a bit of a start of a trend. We created and took out naked cross. This is not a valid naked cross now at 91. Got a bit of a start of an uptrend here this morning, but it's not really good slope yet. We got separation, but no slope. So taking a look at the big picture. Well, overnight we came up and tested this this CHVN up here at 94. Our overnight Globex high is 2096.50. It's just below the microcomposite VPOC going back through to the beginning of May. The bigger picture though is we're still inside of this value from the longer term microcomposite that goes from February 5th till now, and the MC VPOC is down at 2087.50. That was one of the reasons it was one of our main targets. We've now moved up above that 2089.50 CLVN, and we're going to be opening up outside of value and outside of range if we hold this level. The next big target above us is 93.75, a little bit of resistance here at 94.50, and then the big target above us, our main target up above, is going to be this 97.25, and with the other side of that balance up here at 2100. Above 2100, main target, first target is that 2101.50. It's that 2101.50 was a former microcomposite VPOC on the June contract. We've got 2103.75 as the big destination above, and then the key line in the sand for us above is now this 2107.50. Above 2107.50, we break out a value and look for continuation and price discovery up into the 1250 and 1650. That's our main target up there. And then, of course, we've got the September RTH all-time high at 2124.50. The Globex all-time high for September up at 2675. And then we've got the June and the September unequalized highs at 32.25 and 34. So, you know, that whole area from 24 to 34 is going to be tested, and I think we'll do that if we can get above this 1250 and we get some what I consider is probably going to be the you know, the blow off top that we're looking for, and a pop into that 2030, 2040, or 2130, 2140 area, possibly 2150, and then you know, my hypothesis is we pop and then we drop and we get down and make that move down towards that 2011. To the low side, you've got 89.50, which is going to be a good level for us, and then the 87.50, and the lower side of that balance is 82. Below 82.50, then we're looking for a bigger move. Our main target down here is 75.75, and then our key line in the sand below us is going to be this this 2060. You know, I wrote that wrong on the levels. I put it in as 2067. It's 2062. I don't know how I got that wrong. Let me just make it that. It's 2062.75. I read that wrong. So let me just, I gotta fix this for a second. Just make that change, on your own sheets, because I already posted it into the Quantum Leap room. Sorry about that. I was up late last night nursing my trade, so I was late getting to my desk this morning and rushing to get all my homework done so I can present to you guys. So let's take a look at what we've got and start moving our numbers over. All right, so overnight high is up at 86.50. Our overnight low is down at 88.50. I'm sorry, 96.50, not 80. Duh. Sorry, I gotta move this. I hate rushing in the morning. All right, overnight low. Let's try this one more time. 88.50. Just basically sitting right on our value area high, and then our overnight high is 96.50, just below that naked VPOC and microcomposite VPOC at 97.25, and our Globex VPOC is 92.50, which is basically where we're trading. And there's an LVN at 94. I'm looking at the 94.25, and 90.75. Let's just take a closer look at this. 94.50. Then we had 94.50. So 94.50 is going to be a trade area above, and then really don't have anything. You could use the 93, but I don't think there's anything. I think it's really all about 94.50 and the range high at that 89. You've got the CLVN here at 89.50, and you've got the range high at 89.25. So I'm going to use 89.50. Below that, look for them to come down and test the value area high at 88.50. The naked close is 89, and then you've got the naked VPOC at 88, and you got the overnight low at 88.50. So you got really good targets. Anything below 89.50, take that short into here and look for continuation. I'd be looking for continuation down to test this 86 area with the MC VPOC at 87.50 as our main target inside of range. So you got lots of targets up in the 88, 89 area, but I'm looking for them to come down because of the MC VPOC, the most traded price going all the way back to February, and the prominent price acceptance is at that 87.50. Test the first LVN of this upper distribution, and then if we break below that, the next target below is going to be this 84.50. And then I'm going to be using 82.25. That's the IB low and where the VWAP. And then our half back is going to be down here at 80.75. And then the value area low just below it at 79. And 79, remember, you've got 79.50 as the range high from Monday. It's yesterday's value area low. And then below 79, the big target below is that 75, 75.75. That's, the 2-day microcomposite VPOC. Just wanted to show you this here. We went down the first time and picked up buyers at 70.25. Then we came down the second time, pushed and tested the microcomposite value area low at that 62 area, and then they accepted price higher at 75.75, the 2-day microcomposite VPOC, and then we got that nice rally into the afternoon, up back into balance around that 87.50, and then we've got a little bit of extension overnight. So 75.75 is our next big target below. And then you've got 72, which is the range low, and then below 72, you got 71, but it's pretty tight. I'm going to use 68 and a quarter. I don't know why this keeps doing this. When I change my, it seems to be saving it as the default, which it shouldn't be doing. Okay, and then below 68 is going to be our key line in the sand down there at 62.75. And below that, then I'm looking for lower prices. And then our lower prices, we've got 59, 55, and then the next big one, which is going to be down here. I probably still have it, yeah, 51.50. So I got to put in the 59 and 55. But the big one is down here. There's not much below 62.75, so I'm looking for a flush down to this 51.50, and then below that you've got 49, 45.50, our extended target below, which is the naked microcomposite VPOC at 42 and a quarter, 37.75, 30 and a quarter. The big destination below still remains to be this 2011 and a quarter. And if we get below the 62.75, we're going to come down, explore this distribution, and test down to here, possibly 2002.50. But I'm not anticipating that quite yet. Depends on what the Fed does. If the Fed comes out and they raise rate and we get a move down and break that 62.75, then we can look at the lower levels. Right now, I'm still looking above us until we get that announcement. And above, we're going to be opening up outside of range, outside of value. So we've got to look for initiative buyers stepping in. And if we see initiative buyers stepping in, look for them to go out, take out the overnight high and hit our main target above, which is going to be this 97 and a quarter. You've got 97 and a quarter as your microcomposite VPOC from May 1st till now. It's a naked VPOC. And then above that, you've got 99 and a 99.25, remember that number? And then a key area is that 2100 and a quarter CLVN, and then above that you've got the naked VPOC at 2101.50, then 2103.75 with 2107.50. That's going to be our key line in the sand above. That's microcomposite value area high with the naked close at 0875. I've got a target at 0950. Why aren't you going in there for me? 0950. And then of course we've got the 1250. And then naked close at 14 and a quarter, the CHVN and microcomposite VPOC at 1650. It's 1650, right? 1650. And just above that, the naked VPOC at 17, 19 and a quarter. 2120 is a prior CLVN from the June contract. It was a very important number that we were trading off of. And then you got the September RTH high at 2450. I'm doing extended numbers today because we could get a Fed move. And then 2650 is the September all-time high. And then, of course, 32 and a quarter was the June RTH high, and then the all-time high, which I still consider as the all-time high, even though it was in June at 34. I always believe, and studies have proven me correct, that when you get unequalized highs, First, in the Globex and the RTH, they won't hold. They'll equalize those highs. But I also observe when we have a lower, when we get the contango and we have adjusted highs in the new contract, that they'll equalize with the old highs from the old contract. And I'm talking about all-time highs, not just regular fractal highs. So my main hypothesis today is to open out a balance. First thing I'm going to be looking for is is initiative buyer stepping in, or a move down to the range high and find responsive buyers down here, possibly popping in here. The key area that I'm going to be watching is this 86 area. Above the 86, I'm still thinking to the long side up into that overnight high and the 97 naked VPOC. And then possible slow rotation up around this 97.25 area until we get to the Fed news, and then who knows what it is. I'm going to try, if we get up in this area in around this 97.25, or we're in the 87.50. In these two areas, if I see that as a pivot, I will put on a Ferrari trade this afternoon for Fed, the Fed Ferrari trade, and using that 87.50 or 97.25 as the pivot. And then I've got some targets that I'll put on, and I'll put those into the room just about an hour before the Fed news comes out, and then we'll do a Ferrari trade in Quantum Leap today. I haven't done a Fed Ferrari trade in the last couple Feds because they've been somewhat muted in their movements. So let's take a look at. Let me finish my second hypothesis. My second hypothesis is if we get inside and we hold below the value area low, I'm looking to find balance in around this 87 with possible movement down to test the 82 to 80.75 area. And if we come down in this area, I'm looking for them to balance it out before Fed in around the 81.25 or 75.75. So I got some key areas destinations that I'm looking at to be finding balance around before we come into Fed. My first hypothesis is going to be either the 87 or the 97. My second hypothesis is going to be the 81.25 or 75.75. It's going to be an interesting day. I think we're going to get some sharp movement on the open, find some balance above or below, and then go sideways into Fed, and then I think we could have an explosive Fed, and that's why I'm going to be doing the Ferrari trade. See if we can pick up some nice points on it today. And then just taking a look at the Renko and Keltner. What a beautiful double Renko reversal trade off of that 73.75 all the way up. And then we did get, remember what we were saying, that the 61.8 extension, when we were looking at this, this zipper right here, and I did the drawing for the continuation wave. Our 61.8 was that 95.25. We got to 96.50, and I took my trade down at 94.25. So we really don't need any of this anymore. All right. So right now our center line is 93.25. I'm going to be using 94, as you know, and above that a move to test the upper Keltner is going to take us up into that 99.75. Take out that target at 97.50 and test that 2100 level. If we stay below the Keltner channel and move down to the lower, it's going to take us down into that target for 87.25. So you can see how nicely this balances out between 87 and 97. Take a quick look at gold. Balance right now still remains in that 88, 89 area. We came back down again overnight. Couldn't get outside of the value area. Came down, tested the value area low overnight. I'm still going to use that 74.50. If we come down to the 74.50, I missed that. Beautiful. Let me show you a beautiful. Not only does the double Renko reversal trade work well, I'm probably going to have to open up this chart. So just give me a second here. Oh, I know we're running late too, but this is good stuff. Now this is a 10 tick Renko chart, and this was the trade, and I missed it because I got on the phone and when it happened. But there's the double Renko reversal off of the lower Keltner. Then you had a beautiful move all the way up into that 1182.40 and the main target on the double Renko reversal at the Keltner center line. So you can see that the double Renko reversals are working very well on gold. But remember, they're not a 4 tick, they're a 10 tick. Anyway, that's going to complete our pre-market morning leap. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we will catch you on the Fed flip.